Hello there, I'm making a Pikmin 1 tier list of enemies and how dangerous they are and how to fight them mainly because a lot of people are getting into Pikmin now because of Pikmin 4 and also all the games on the Switch. So I'm just gonna tell you how to fight them and how dangerous they are. So first up we have the Honey Wisp. They're really easy. They can't hurt you. And this is not Pikmin 2, so they can't drop Matites. So, in this version of Pikmin 1, which is all the enemies, basically, how you want to fight them, I guess, is just throw a Pikmin at it, and then it'll give you Nectar. So if you need Nectar, just kill it. It's really not even an enemy. It's kind of just nice, which is what this tier is. It's basically just enemies that can't really hurt you. Next is the Wogpole. Same boat. So the Wogpole, you will have to kill it in Pikmin. I should be talking about the actual game, but Wogpoles, they will just swim around in water. They're not dangerous. They can't hurt you, but they can distract your blues. So the main strategy is just either punch it to death into submission or just swarm it if you have a lot of blues, because throwing it will take a while because they have to, when you throw Pikmin in water, it slows down for them to hit the ground and then they gotta walk over and attack it. So just swarm. And yeah, they can't hurt you. They're above Honey Wisps because they don't help you, but yeah, they're just kind of there. The Iridescent Flint Beetle. So this enemy, it's in the Impact site and also I think the Forest of Hope. It helps you. It gives you Nectar, but it can attract your Pikmin. It can waste time, and time's important in Pikmin 1. So you can't swarm it. So you'll have to throw Pikmin on top of it to get out some nectar. So if you need some more nectar, and there already is plenty because of all the grass and the rocks and the honey wisps everywhere and the in the ground. So you really won't need it, but it is annoying on that one thing when you're going up the hill to fight these two. So you have to throw it. So don't swarm it with the C stick or the second stick. Next we have the bread bug. So the bread bug, I feel like might be a bit confusing for a new time player. So bread bugs, they cannot be hurt by Pikmin in the first game conventionally. So you can't just, if you throw Pikmin at the thing, they won't attack it. It won't attack them, but if you get an item down that can be dragged by Pikmin, it will go after that and try to steal it and drag it around all the place. So you have to have the max amount of Pikmin on an object, and it'll try to carry it to where it wants to carry it, but you have more Pikmin, so it'll drag it to the onion, and if the thing goes up in the onion, he will fall and take most of his health. And if he does that, just punch it with your captain, or right as it falls, you can throw Pikmin on it and hurt it. So the main strategy I'd say is, if it's near the blue onion when you get to the Forest Navel first, which is the only place it is, I'd recommend you knock down a pellet, have 2 blue Pikmin take it to the onion, and then have it there, and then just punch it to death while your Pikmin are getting more blues, and then just kill it. And it'll have the shit part in it, so you need to do that. So I'd say it's probably, in this game, probably in meh tier, because it can be really annoying if you don't do it instantly, and time is important. Now we're into enemies that actually hurt you. So first we have the Water Dumple. Water dumples in this game can be really mean. So first off, do not throw Pikmin at it because it can shake off and then eat Pikmin easily. So you will want to, if you see them, just get a couple of blues and just swarm it. Throwing it can be helpful if there's just one, but if there's multiple, just swarm all of them. Try to kill them as quickly as you can because they will follow you for a while. And they're not like slow. They're a lot faster than the boards, and they have a lot of health in this game. That's kind of the gist with most enemies in Pikmin 1. They have a lot of health. So, and they won't die instantly if you just throw a Pikmin on it. So, you'll have to swarm it. Usually, there's one part that's really annoying in the Distant Spring where it's in water under a blowhog with a shit piece and you have to kill them. And, sometimes, if you can, you could try to bait out their bite because it takes a while, and then just swarm them because they'll go, and reach out. So if you dodge that, and then you can just swarm that one and kill it. So I'd say, in this game, probably okay for how much you fight them and also how much HP they have. Red Bulborbs, they're a bit harder to throw on them because of the bad reticle in the OG GameCube version. But any other version, they should be fine. They're harder than the red bug, but just chuck a bunch if you're not confident with hitting it. Do not swarm it really because it's just slower, and if you have a lot of Pikmin in your party, you might as well, but you can just chuck one and it'll kill it faster. And time is important, so you want to do that. So, yeah, that's the main way you could kill it. If there's like a lot, I guess use a bomb rock, I don't know. But mainly just chuck Pikmin on their heads, and they're not hard. They can eat things, and also in this game, something to be mindful of is if they're near an adult, they can like scream, and then the adult Bulborb can. There's so many bulbs. The adult Bulborb will like wake up and it'll chase you down, and they're strong in this game, so that is something you want to kill them quick. If they see you and you don't keep your distance, you want to kill them fast. Next we have the baby Bulbear. They don't show up until after day 15 or day 15 of the Distant Spring, but they can be really annoying because they hug the adults in that shit piece where you have to use yellows to get it down from that ledge. So you won't see them a lot, but they're kind of just like slightly stronger red ones, but they're a bit better, and the same strategy, just chuck Pikmin on it. You don't want to use a bomb this for them because they're always near the adult doing their dance, and they're usually awake. They're not like stupid. So next we have the fiery blowhog. Now this thing is kind of a chump in like every other Pikmin game because you can just whistle him, but fire is extremely dangerous in the first game. You have 1.5 seconds to save your Pikmin if they get fired, or they're on fire. And like the other games where it's like 6. And they also spread out way more, and whistling Pikmin is a chore in this game. And the reticle doesn't even go out that far on the GameCube version. So you'll want to just not kill a lot because there's like 7 in that one part of the Forest Navel. These guys are actually like difficult. Like they're actually pretty hard because they're souped up. They can regen HP really quickly. They have a ton of health. Their shake off goes so far, and fire is just so busted. So I think luckily you only have to kill like one. It's to the Libra, the Sagittarius, and the thing in the water. That silly part. So the main strategy you should do is just probably use reds, but mainly just use reds on it while it's shooting fire, and then just whistle them when it tries to do the yas and yas them forward. And mainly just use reds to carry stuff back in the force naval or else you're gonna die. So the main strategy is just swarm with reds on its butt, and when it's about to yas them, just stop, and because it takes a while for them to turn around, so you can just swarm their butt, whistle them, swarm their butt, whistle them, do that. And also, sorry I don't have the puffy blowhog, because withering blowhog isn't in this game, but they don't have the picture of the puffy blowhog in this list for some reason. So if you made this list and you're watching this, please add it. So, the puffy blowhog, definitely puffy blowhog. These things are really annoying in this game. They can be super they're near a bunch of enemies, which you don't really see in, like, Pikmin 3 and 4. And you can't kill them that quickly because they're kind of tanky, like everything in this game. So, I'm going to put them in the annoying tier because they can't kill enemies, but they can deflower your Pikmin, which wastes time. And there's one in the distant spring near a ball orb, or a ball bear, and if it shakes off your Pikmin near, it's waking up. So the main strategy is just, usually you'll just want to wait for it to do its blow attack, swarm like to the left or right outside of the range of the blow, go under it, and then just start throwing Pikmin because it'll bring it to the ground, and then just swarm the rest of your Pikmin and just keep doing that over and over. Because once you get it once, it'll take a while to get back up, so you can keep doing it over and over. So that's kind of the strategy. It's not hard, but it's annoying, and you want to kill them. Next, we have female shear grub. Just swarm or throw. It doesn't matter. Just kill them. They can't kill Pikmin, and they can't help you. But they sometimes get mixed with males, so I guess that's beware of that, but, like, they can't kill Pikmin. They'll just walk around and eat bridges. So, yeah, just chuck a bunch of Pikmin, and it'll die. The males are actually pretty annoying in this game, because, when you swarm them for some reason, like, you'll kill them, but they'll still eat your Pikmin before they die. So, I'd say just mashing the throw button is just the most important, because it instantly kills them. So, if I had to put them in a tier, probably annoying. But they're not too hard. They're usually in like big bunches, but they're pretty slow, and you should be able to just kill them easily with any type of Pikmin. And they're pretty common. They'll come up from the ground, so you should always be wary. And if you know where they are, if they're coming up from the ground, just hold the swarm, and your Pikmin will kill it pretty quickly. Yeah. Honestly, I probably should put it down here. Next, the sheer wigs. Alright, these guys just suck. I hate them. So first off, these guys, unlike the male sheer grubs, you can't instantly kill them by throwing Pikmin on them. Which is dumb. It'll do half their health. And if they eat a Pikmin, you can't kill it before it's done swallowing. It eats Pikmin instantly, which basically means if it bites the one, because normally with enemies that bite it, if you kill them before they're able to swallow it, then their Pikmin are still alive. Even if you kill him before he swallows, they still die, which is stupid. They can also fly, which honestly is not a very good attack. When they start flying, they do it for a while. They can't attack you, so you can just throw a Pikmin, and if you snipe them, they die. Also, if they're in water, they'll take damage, so if you're near water, I guess you could use that. But the main strategy is just swarm them really quickly until they start their flying, and then just snipe them. The big spotty, or just the normal spotty ball board, these guys are actually pretty hard in this game. The strategy, so one thing to be aware of first off is the crushing glitch. So basically if there's Pikmin in front of it, and you kill it and it falls on the ground, sometimes it crushes your Pikmin to the ground. It'll usually happen twice a playthrough, and it's really annoying. So, one thing you could do is, I think swarming is probably your best bet. You want to swarm its butt, because its waking up range isn't very big. and once you swarm his butt, you gotta not make it so it's all the way in front of it. You can't just hold forward, because then your Pikmin will go in front of it and it'll eat them. So you want to do it so where they latch on its butt, so you like slightly keep pressing it forward and don't just hold it. So like you'll tap forward, so like and then let go, and that'll usually cause it to die, at least from my experience. And you'll have to fight a lot. Another strategy is usually, because they're near a lot of bomb rocks, you can just use bomb rocks and blow them up. It takes 2. So, and bomb rock range is pretty big, so you shouldn't have trouble if you just throw 2 yellows with bomb rocks on them. So, they can actually be pretty difficult. I'm going to put it up with the fiery blowhog. And ball bears strategy, get 100 reds and just swarm its butt, hope it dies. You only have to really fight 2, but if they wake up and you don't deal with them quick enough, they will ruin your life. You can throw on normal red ball barbs, but for these, you can't really throw. You just gotta swarm its butt and pray to the Pikmin lords that it doesn't kill you. And they're really tanky. You won't be able to just one-cycle them. They'll probably shake off once. So, watch out for these guys. Don't be overconfident. Get 100 reds and just murder them before they have the chance to bite you, because they can eat like 20 Pikmin at a time. Next, we have the yellow Wally Hop, even though Wally Wog sounds better. These enemies suck. They're really hard, and while this is easily the not as strong version, they can still be really annoying. So first off, they just squish your Pikmin. They don't really care. So basically, you can swarm them, but you want to make sure your Pikmin latch onto it, because if you don't swarm right, they can just jump and then squash all your Pikmin. So you want to swarm, and then it'll try to jump, but if you have enough Pikmin, it'll fail. It'll do that until it has like a quarter health left, and then you'll want to whistle your Pikmin then and just get them away, and then just kill them after they jump. Another strategy is just throw Pikmin at it and have it jump, whistle them back, throw Pikmin. But the problem with the Wollywogs is that they suck. And a thing about them is, if you kill them but they jump, they have to fall before they can die. So if you kill them before they're about to fall, don't rest easy thinking you finished. You gotta whistle all your Pikmin back and not die. And the gray ones are kind of just the yellows, but worse, because you actually have to fight them. So these are probably the top of a void. These are a bit harder than the fiery blowhogs. And for some reason, the gray one has a bigger tummy, even though it's clearly smaller. It can crush more Pikmin, which doesn't make sense. But when you encounter them, the main strategy is to just swarm around their body with like 40 Pikmin. Make it so they can't jump they'll try to jump like twice or 3 times, and then you want to whistle back, wait for them to fall, and then swarm them again, and then they'll die. Next is the Pearly Clam. So these guys there's like 3 of them. One of them that you fight is just for like an orb that gives you like 30 Pikmin. It's on land. That one, just grab a couple of bomb rocks. I think it needs like 3 or 2. It might be 2, and just chuck them at its mouth, and it'll just die. But the other one, it'll clamp down after you throw a bit too much on it. So for these enemies, you'll want to be able to mash really hard, and don't take risks, because like, even though like I'm about to be able to kill it, you're probably not going to be able to, and it can eat like all your Pikmin at once. So just chuck like a couple on. When it's about to snap, whistle them back, and just keep doing that, because really you have all the time in the world at this part, because this is when you revisit the impact site and you need to get one, like, Pikmin. You need to get one ship part, so you can just take your time. Don't be stupid, and then just recover a bunch of Pikmin there. So, really not that hard. I don't know why I put it in a void. I think they're probably okay. They can kill a lot of Pikmin. I think it's the lowest there. Next, now we're into the bosses. So the first is the Mamuda. It can really damage your captain, but you can just recover it after you fight it. And while plucking could take some time, and if it plucks all your Pikmin, you're kind of done. But just swarm it and it'll die quickly. And it'll flower your Pikmin, so just swarm it so a bunch of your Pikmin that are leaf can get flowered. Then you can just pluck all of them and it'll die. It can't kill Pikmin. It can only hurt your captain. So it's gonna go in the nice tier. I think it's nice enough to go in nice because it really won't hurt you. And if you get hurt, you can always go back to the dolphin and heal. And you have to fight like 2 enemies that day. So it's really not a big issue. And by the way, it'll appear first on day 8, and it'll keep going, alternating. It'll go on all the even days, so it'll go 8, 10, 12, until you get to 30. And the Gulix is the opposite. So the Gulix is a big water blob. It can't hurt Pikmin, but if Pikmin go inside of it, they will, if they're red or blues, red or yellows, it's like fire, but with the water, so they'll die just as quick, and you will get murdered if you don't use blues. But if you're using blues, it can still shake them, and it'll take a while to kill, but, it really shouldn't be a problem. You just gotta throw your blues at the 2 balls inside of it, and you'll just do that until it dies. And it appears on 9, 11, 13, and so on for the rest of the playthrough. The puff stool. So first, you'll want to swarm this, and you can one-cycle this enemy. It's really not that hard. So the first thing you'll want to do is just chase it around and swarm it. This will topple it over, and then once you topple it over, you whistle all your Pikmin quickly, and then just chuck them. When it's flipped over, you can't just keep swarming it because you can't hurt the mushroom part. Its only attack is when it flips over again, it'll spray out mushroom juice, and it'll turn your Pikmin evil, and they will attack Olimar until they die, unless if you whistle them. And that attack can be really dangerous, especially in the forest navel, because there's like creepy crawlies everywhere. So you'll really want to one-cycle this. Just swarm it quickly with your reds, whistle them back, just start chucking at the top and kill it. It's not that hard if you know what you're doing, kind of like the Gulix, but if you don't, it could mess you up. Next is the Armored Cannon Beetle. This one, it might be a bit confusing if you never played the game. So it'll shoot boulders at you, and while it's shooting, it has a little air hole on the front of it right here. You gotta throw a Pikmin in there, and don't think you can get it instantly. It's pretty hard, so you'll want to throw a bunch of Pikmin at it. And when it does it, it'll open its brain butt, and you can't swarm the brain butt. You'll have to throw a Pikmin at it. It'll be on the back. Another thing is you can punch its boulders that it shoots at you if you want to just get the radiation canopy and run, but the other time you'll have to kill it. So, it's definitely not an easy enemy, especially if it's near other things, but you won't encounter that in the game, and it's not that hard. Next is an enemy that is hard, and that is Beatty. Beatty in this game is just so much better than his other incarnations. It's not even funny. So Beatty in this game, you see him once, and you will not want to use reds or blues because they will only be able to hit him a couple times in the fight, and he stomps quickly. He does not wait. He will stomp, and then right as he stomps, he'll move another one. And once he falls, you'll want to watch out for the feet because he'll move them instantly, so he could just step on all your yellows. You'll want to use yellows and just chuck out the ball thing when he's about to shake it off, which is pretty quick. You'll just want to whistle them, they'll come right down. And just keep chucking, and at the ball thingy, it's not that hard. It's pretty big. But you want to make sure that you don't bring in too many because they'll probably get squished. Try to stay relatively under him and swarm to dodge the legs because they'll get attracted by the legs, and if they do, they're probably donezo because they can't damage it or climb up it like other games, and they have to they'll just keep whacking at it and die. They'll get stepped on. So, Beatty is really dangerous. He's one of the most dangerous bosses in the game. Not the most dangerous, but he is dangerous. So, I think he's stronger than the ball bear for sure. Next is the the burrowing snagger. These names are silly. So, the burrowing snagger in this game, it really isn't that tough if you know what you're doing. First off, you can't swarm the blue part, and the main strategy is when it comes out of the ground, sometimes it'll go head first, and you can swarm the head there, and that'll do a lot of damage. But sometimes it'll just appear in its full body, and then you'll just have to chuck all your Pikmin at its head there. And if it bites them, you just gotta make sure that you have enough Pikmin on its head so it'll shake off and burrow back down. So, if you have enough Pikmin on it, it'll burrow back down, so that's the main strategy you want to do. You just want to get it so it'll have to burrow back down and won't be able to bite your Pikmin until it dies. It is pretty tanky in this game compared to 2 and 3, and 4, I guess. So, you'll want to be a bit wary. I don't think he's... that's the Mamuda. He's nice. I don't think it's in the danger tier because you'll have to fight 2 of them. But, and also, it's just not really like a boss. It's kind of just like a strong enemy. So I think it is right here. Next, we have the literal most evil thing ever in this game. The Smoky Prog. It appears before day 15. It's optional, but you can get 100 Pikmin if you kill it. The main strategy is sacrificing yellow Pikmin. So, basically, you will attack the egg. It's on this, pond. And it'll open up the Smoky Prog, and you'll go to your base and start sprouting up Pikmin and running them over. Basically, how this works is he has a bunch of goo that follows him, and if any Pikmin touches it, they instantly die. So, the main strategy if you want to throw it and do it the conventional way, is just chuck at its face and keep your distance, especially just wait for it, and just chuck some reds at its face. Only do 5 because they'll probably die, and just have them do a bit of damage, circle around, and then just, if they die, just throw more on. But I think the best way you could probably do it, since it has 6,000 health, I'd grab a bunch of bomb rocks and then just let those Pikmin die, because it's pretty slow. It's not that fast, so you'll probably be able to just blow it up and kill it really quickly. I'd say it probably is worth it if you're not going for a really fast run, because you get 100 Pikmin. So unless you have 100 Pikmin die, it'll be pretty positive. So this guy, definitely the hardest enemy in the game. A lot of Pikmin are gonna die. And you gotta be careful around it. I'd say just don't go for it if you're a new player, because it probably won't be fun. And just poopy. So throw it at its face, don't let it kill you. And the last enemy in the game is the Emperor Bulblax. Not counting its other variants, I'd say this enemy is pretty tough because you basically have to have Pikmin die. The Smoky Prog, you can potentially not have Pikmin die. Beatty, if you do it perfectly, you can get a good cycle. This guy, the main strat is to get a bunch of bomb rocks and just throw a yellow Pikmin in its face when it's doing the licky attack. Go back, get some reds, and then throw it at its face. And you'll basically just do that like 8 times until it dies. And it has the jumpy attack, so you can't stay in the arena, you want to go outside of it, break both walls before you fight it. And to get him out of the ground, just throw a Pikmin at it or walk up to it. It won't really do damage, it'll just knock you away. So I'd say bring like 60 reds and like 25 yellows, and those yellows are going to get eaten, they're going to blow up, and then you're going to throw some reds out of its face. So that's all the enemies in Pikmin 1 on how I think good ways for new players to fight them, also their danger. Did you like the ranking? Please tell me in the comments below. Thank you. Also, whoever made this, add a puffy blowhog.